the American people.
Senator Bill Cassidy tells Fox News Sunday the GOP proposal is only about a third of the Biden proposal.
Republicans say they are willing to listen to the president's demands, but they believe the $1.9 trillion price tag is way too much, especially after Congress approved aid back in December. Democrats are pushing for another round of increased stimulus checks, a $15 minimum wage, and financial support for states.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith. Former President Trump has two new lawyers for when arguments started his Senate trial next week after five others abandoned his case over the weekend. The House impeached him, accusing the former president of inciting the deadly Capitol attack. In Chicago,
our schools are safe.
So today, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is ordering teachers to return to the classroom, saying they've taken steps to mitigate against COVID, but teachers demand to be vaccinated first and could go on strike. There's been a military coup in Burma, also known as Myanmar. Fox's Simon Owen has details live.
Dave, Burma's military has taken control and pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been arrested.
It's very difficult to know exactly what's going on.
The UN Special Investigator on Human Rights in Burma, Tom Andrews, says communication lines are down.
But what we do know is that this outrageous act has occurred and that there needs to be a strong international response.
The United States says it's alarmed. Burma had been transitioning to democracy in recent years. The military is blaming corruption in recent elections. Dave?
Simon, a winter storm that blanketed parts of the Midwest has warnings up from the Carolinas to Maine. Some areas of the Northeast could get 2 feet of snow. About 1,400 flights are canceled across the region. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care,
almost 5 million people have downloaded the free Newsmax
Find them
TV
online
app
at
on their smartphone.
596back.com.
Wink News Traffic.
A very wet commute this morning. Looking over your dash, you're seeing that rainfall. Make sure to just watch that following distance. 2 crashes in Southwest Florida. One in Cape Coral at Northeast 5th Avenue and Tropicana Parkway, slowing traffic west on Tropicana starting from Pine Island Road. Also, there's a crash at Buckingham Road and Homestead Road with northbound delays on Buckingham Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some morning rain, gradually we do dry out. It is going to be a much cooler and windy day of weather. Wind gusts 25 to 40 miles an hour with afternoon temperatures only into the 60s. Then we fall into the 40s with an additional wind chill for your Tuesday morning. Highs only in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your chilly Tuesday as morning clouds eventually give way to sunshine. We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Remember, customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
You've heard it before. We beat the competition. So many businesses say that now. But how many companies actually ask you to call the competition and then compare their windows to Window World windows? We will come into your home, or you can come to our showroom, and we'll give you an honest, fair, free estimate of what it would take to upgrade your windows to more energy-efficient windows. No tricks, no high pressure. We want you happy with your new windows, not feeling like you were forced into buying them.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. We offer you top quality windows at the best price available with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business.
If something goes wrong with your new windows, we'll fix it, even if the neighborhood kids accidentally hit a baseball through it, or anything else. Window World quality windows, great price. Even hurricane-rated impact windows are available to offer an increased level of security to your home. Call Window World today.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, happy Monday. Good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you are joining us today. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live anytime you want to watch at drewsteele.com, the website, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's, DREWSTEELE. You can go to the website right now and watch streaming live, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. Yeah, you can go there as well. Wherever you want to go and view the program, we do appreciate it. All right, so a couple of things that are going on that we're going to touch on this morning. So Governor Andrew Cuomo just is pulling a Hillary Clinton. He's
offended personally.
Oh, Hillary's offended. So is Governor Cuomo pulling a Hillary? Apparently he did on Friday, and it has a lot of people aghast. And they should be. It has a lot of people ticked off. They should be. But they're Democrats. So all get a pass, everybody. So nothing to see here. Look, people in nursing homes died. People died. Who cares? That's what Andrew Cuomo said, the governor of New York. And he gets a complete pass. But let's make sure that we go after anybody and everybody that is in the former President Trump's orbit. Let's make sure we go after congressmen and women who may have said some objectionable things or questionable things in the past and pass right by some of the Marxists that are among us in Congress. Nothing to see here. It's just a typical day in the world of the left. But we push back. That's what we do. So we'll talk about that coming up. It's not every day that you can loot, destroy, talk about how evil and awful the country is, and be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Who knew that it takes destruction in order to get the peace that only Nobel can bring you? It's almost comical if it wasn't comical. But Black Lives Matter nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. I can't even say it with a straight face. You know, it's that little bit of common sense that gets thrown out the window. How does that work? Well, we'll talk about that and your thoughts on it. Also, some other things that are going on, including the discussion about, where is it? Oh, man. Gosh, there's so many places I want to go. Let's just hit some of the headlines early on so we can get to the meat of the program coming up. The former president, excuse me, it's so easy for me to say President Trump, but former President Trump announced he's got a new legal team now because he had an old legal team, and the old legal team parted ways with the former president just a week before the Senate trial is set to begin. And what they said was, well, we couldn't come to an agreement because what they were saying the president wanted was for there to be a discussion about the election and getting into more of the details of allegations of election fraud. The lawyers were like, no, we don't want to talk about election fraud. That supposedly is the story. Now, Newsmax had that story, and that's the way they and others have laid it out. That, look, the president had an idea of how he wanted to go with this. Some might say something that is very, very obvious about the president's lawyers and the team that he had put together. Many lawyers, I think there were like 5 or 6 of them from South Carolina. Lindsey Graham helped to put this team together. And that is, we already know that 45 Republicans are not going to go along with this. Democrats don't have the numbers. This thing is DOA. It's not going to go through. We're not going to have the impeachment of a president who's not even in office. And so knowing that, hey, well, let's save a couple of bucks. I mean, there's some common sense there. Some people have said, why put together a really expensive legal team and go through all of this when it's moot anyway? What we're going to fight, or what his lawyers will fight against, is obvious of what's coming. It's going to be a lot about how inciting a riot without evidence. It's going to be the literal words out of the president's mouth at the time of peacefully going to the Capitol that will be ignored by the very partial Senate and Patrick Leahy, who oversee this. You know, someone who's going to be impartial. I can't even say that with a straight face. It's a sham, and we all know it. But he's got a new team, so he's coming together now, and I guess the suggested argument that the team's going to focus on is going to be that the impeachment trial is unconstitutional. Hey, that's a good place to be. And maybe if you want to sprinkle in some of the issues of the day, of the time, you could. But really, if you just stick with the Constitution, it's a winning proposition, because that's really where we are in this. So, before people get into the hype of, and you know how the left does it, the media did it all weekend long, pick it, local, state, national, went after the idea that the president's legal team walking away, they can't do this, this is an outrage, I don't want to be part of it. And they're really, maybe not so much. But, they'll exaggerate for the reasons of exaggeration. So that story is out there. But it is funny how, and this is just a small aside, and then we can move on. It is funny how the left in this country, the media, Democrats, all the same, just can't let him go. They can't let him go. They can't let you go. They can't let any of this go. And there's an obvious reason why. They can't let it go. They can't let the former president go. They have to show up at Mar-a-Lago and say, he can't live here. This is an outrage. He's got to be out of here. No, that's where he lives. You have people that are trying to cause issues anywhere that the president shows up, and anytime the president's name is discussed, including with you. But here's a perfect reason why they can't let it go. And I'm trying to see where this, which was a Politico? Former President Donald Trump has actually gained, not lost, political clout since leaving office, a Political Observer observed on Friday. Politico reporter Tara Palmieri's observation runs contrary to the assumptions of many in D.C. establishment and the mainstream. People don't want to hear anything against Trump, Palmieri said during an appearance on MSNBC. Actually, the more he stays out of the media, the more he becomes this martyr, this looming figure over the GOP. And then she describes the apparent disconnect between what's perceived as truth in D.C. and what's perceived as truth in Cheyenne. They picked a location. The point is that you have a former president who is gaining political clout. Somebody who is not being dismissed by people who voted for him, and that drives the left crazy. They don't get it. How is this possible? How could he have any kind of political clout? A big part of the political clout certainly is the actions that he was taking, what he was doing in office. Part of the political clout is the fact that many people who voted for him and the policies that he put forward and the success of the country happened even though you had a Trump-Russia collusion hoax. You had impeachment upon impeachment. You had stormy days, what was her name? Come on, Jake, you're into that kind of stuff. Stormy, what? What was her name?
I'm not into that. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, Stormy, the girl, the one that came along and said, I had a relationship with the president, and she was a
linebacker, I think.
She wasn't a linebacker. She was a big girl, but she wasn't that big. No, she was a porn star, wasn't she? She did that kind of stuff. I don't know, but why can't I remember her name? Just look at the text line, 239-479-5592. Somebody will text the last name. I'm sure it will come up in 3, 2, 1. It'll come up. Just let me know when it pops.
Daniels.
Yeah, okay, Stormy Daniels. There you go. And through all of that, was still able to do what he did. That drives the media crazy. So there's all of these reasons. And then a left in this country that is telling you how you should think, where you should go for your news, how you should act. And if you don't believe that that's true, let me give you a perfect example of how they're doing it as we speak. Over the weekend, on a laughable title for a show on CNN called Reliable Sources with Brian Stelter, if you... as some may have said, you see Brian Stelter all the time. Anytime you're sitting down with your kids watching Toy Story, you ever see the potato head character there? That's not really very nice. It's not about appearances. It's not about what people look like. It's about their content. It used to be about the content of people's character. Now we dismiss that completely. Brian Stelter, who is telling you that we got to take Fox News off the air. How do we do that? You don't take Fox News off the air by allowing them, let's say, to implode on their own because of some of the content that's being put out, which many people are disappointed with, and I get it. It's not by finding other sources that you enjoy more. A lot of people are going to different places like Newsmax and OAN and others. I get it. No. What we have to do now is go after the people who provide the content. This is to make sure that you don't get any kind of content that the left disagrees. Now, for anybody who's listening to me right now, and I'm going to play this Stelter audio in just a second, understand something that's critical in this discussion. If you're listening to Brian Stelter and in some way you're thinking to yourself, I'm so mad at Fox News, I'm so mad at fill in the blank, whatever network, whatever station it is, if you're thinking that I'm so mad at them because of something they may have said on the network and the position that they're taking, when you feel like they've let you down, and I get it, just know that when people like Brian Stelter and CNN suggest that cable networks should stop carrying them, do you think they stop at Fox News? They don't. They won't. Because your favorite channel will be next. Your favorite podcaster will be next. Your favorite radio host will be next. Your location to find information outside of the mainstream will disappear, and you don't want to be a part of that, helping that take place. Brian Stelter.
But while some cry cancel culture, let me suggest a different way to think about this.
Okay, tell us. People are crying cancel culture. He was mentioning earlier in the program there on CNN that people like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and screaming censorship, and there's no proof of that. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, big tech, you get it.
A harm reduction model.
A harm reduction model. We should have a harm reduction model. And don't you think CNN and Brian Stelter should be the ones to tell us what is and isn't harm to you?
Most people want clean air and blue skies and accurate news and rational views. And then in that healthy environment that looks beautiful, then we can have great fights about taxes and regulation and healthcare and all the rest.
Yeah, but we can't because you guys exist. Because the left exists, there's no way to do it.
The vast majority of people can agree that disinformation about, let's say, the pandemic is unhealthy. It's harmful. So how can that harm be reduced?
How can How can the harm be induced of people who would give you what they consider to be misinformation, let's say even on COVID?
Well, big tech platforms say they are removing lies about vaccines and stamping out Stop the Steal BS and QAnon cult content.
You got to stop with the QAnon. You got to stop. I'm just telling you. Even Jake's laughing right now. You got to stop. You got to give this up. You walk down the street and you ask the average American what QAnon is, and nobody has a flipping clue what you're talking about. You got to stop. You just got to stop.
Now, do these private companies have too much power? Sure. And many people would say yes, of course they do. But reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech.
Reducing a liar's reach. Are you listening? For those of you that are listening in just the little smallest form and saying, yeah, I'm mad at Fox News. We shouldn't have cable. Let's have cable companies stop carrying them. That's what they're suggesting. Don't you know that you're next? Whatever you follow, whatever you try to go to watch, whatever network it is, whatever website it is, the podcast host, the radio station, you're next. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop, especially when they can continue to have half the country, probably less than half the country, believe what they're spouting. That we have to censor these places because of what happened on January 6th. And the incitement of a riot that we're told was incited by a president, yet you can't identify the words of the incitement, but you know it happened. Come on, it's Donald Trump. You showed up at the Capitol. You're half responsible too, are you not? Yeah, I'm just suggesting that in the days and the weeks ahead, and I say in the days and weeks ahead because 2022 is here right now and big changes can happen this next election. It ain't over. I'm trying to give you that silver lining. I mean, what's happening right now is awful. And what the left in this country is doing is awful. And what Joe Biden is doing is, he doesn't have a clue where he's at. I mean,
we choose truth over facts.
There's a coherency thing there that we got to deal with. But change can happen in 18 months or less. And certainly on a state level. But the things that are being suggested right now and the censoring of your speech is real. And the censoring of where you're going to access it. And always remember with the left, they're willing to go after their own. If they're willing to go after their own, don't you think they're willing to take it as far as they can with you, who they disagree with, who they don't want to be able to speak? All they want to do is censor you, shut you up, because they have no place to go in the arena of ideas. They're just like the clown car show, running in circles. That's actually a pretty good analogy. If you're the left and you're in an arena of ideas, you're the clown car. And you're running around in circles, and the guy fumbles over, and then he throws the bucket of what you think is water, but it's actually confetti, and then the other guy gets hit with the water that's actually water, and he thinks it's confetti. You know, it's a clown car. It's a clown show. That's what the left is. 239-479-5592. All right, when we come back from break, a lot more to talk about. Did you hear Governor Cuomo, who just believes that, listen, people died, so what? Who cares? A little bit of Hillary Clinton, very Clinton-esque in his attitude. We'll get to that coming up on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, your phone number. And don't forget, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website. DREWSTEELE. Steele has 3 E's. We'll see you at the website, and traffic coming up and more as well. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 FoxNews.com.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Robinhood has narrowed its stock trade restrictions from 50 to 8 companies, still including GameStop, AMC Entertainment, and BlackBerry. The stock restrictions were put in place as the mobile brokerage app faced high trading volume last week. The high volatility was sparked by Wall Street Bets, a speculative investing discussion forum on Reddit. The group banded together to buy up GameStop's call options, causing the struggling retailer shares to soar to unprecedented levels and hurting market short sellers. President Biden invited to the White House a group of 10 Republican senators who proposed spending about 1/3 of what he is seeking in coronavirus aid. The senators accepted this afternoon's invitation. U.S. stock futures traded higher overnight. Asian stock markets advanced after coronavirus vaccine maker AstraZeneca agreed to provide more doses to Europe amid rising worries about the disease. Oil futures higher. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal G. and Grasso, invested in you.
Some big news. Since Election Day, almost 5 million people have downloaded the free Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. You can trust Newsmax TV. Watch it for free anytime. And go to Newsmax.com for breaking news. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Call your operator if they don't carry it. Plus, watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, TiVo Plus, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
There is always a better way, and we will always chase after it. We're building a cleaner energy future with millions of solar panels, and we're using the latest technology, investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. As we see it, the horizon is always moving, and to chase it is to deliver America's best energy value for you and for Florida. See how at fpl.com/value.
So, you're in the market for new appliances. You have a choice. You can chase around sizing up refrigerators, opening oven doors, poking your nose into top-load washers, while wondering if the quality meets your standards and the prices are fair. Or you can go to Good Deals Appliances. Starting at Good Deals Appliances makes all the sense in the world. They feature the top names in appliances like Genair, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana. But the best part about shopping at Good Deals Appliances is their price guarantee. If you ever find a lower price on the same appliance, Jane and his team at Good Deals Appliances will beat it. Every time, guaranteed. When you need appliances, make your first stop your last stop. Good Deals Appliances. 3 locations to serve you. 41 at Gladiolus in Fort Myers, Pine Island Road in Cape Coral, and on Naples Boulevard near Lowe's and Costco in Naples.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Hey everybody, Dr. Amy here, your favorite chiropractor. We're back for your daily dose of Did You Know Chiropractic Can Help With That? And today we're going to talk about knee pain and arthritis. Specifically, I want to tell you about Susie. When I met Susie, she had constant knee pain that was limiting her activity and had even started to limit her ability to walk. And she was told it was arthritis. She actually believed the doctors when they told her it was arthritis because she had previously broken her kneecap. So when I did my full evaluation for subluxation, I took x-rays of her knees and it showed no arthritis. We were able to trace it all the way back to her spine, and the x-rays revealed a curve in her low back. And that curve in her low back is exactly what was causing the knee pain. So through my scoliosis protocol, we were able to correct that curve, and it might seem like a small thing to you, but Susie no longer has knee pain. Are you dealing with knee pain that you can't get rid of and thinking it's just arthritis? It might not be. Call us 239-628-4899, and remember, your power is on.
Hey, Dave, what's going on with your sink? It's full of water.
Really slow to drain.
You tried all the...
Yes, I've tried all the...
Just asking.
It gets worse and worse.
So maybe...
Now the downstairs sink is slow, too. I don't dare flush the toilet.
Dave...
What's the point of having running water if it doesn't run out again?
Dave...
I might as well give up on indoor plumbing completely, build an outhouse, and haul water up from the river in a bucket!
All right, let's see. Is this? Oh, it is working. All right, what's going on there? What is it? DrewSteele.com, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you are. Just want to say good morning, happy Monday, and wanted to see who is here watching on the website. So if you are watching this morning right now, whether you are on YouTube or whether you are on Facebook, go ahead and let me know. Number one, let me know where you're watching from.
If you're watching from Facebook, just put FB. If you're watching from YouTube, just put YT. And if you're watching from drewsteele.com, just put web, so I know. Because I'm just trying to check who's here. All right, let's see. Good morning, Native American is here. Good morning. Oh, wow. How did that... wait, I got to fix this. Hold on. How's that? Yeah. How's that? Let's see. Wait. All right, that's better. Okay, Native American. Let's see. Somebody said, who cares? Okay. I care. I'm asking. Just wanted to know who cares. Okay. Gary's on YouTube. All right, Gary, good morning. Good to see you here. This is a different Gary who's also here on YouTube. Good morning. Good to see you, Gary. Donna's on YouTube as well. I appreciate that. Native Americans on the YouTubes. All right. On the YouTubes. Anna's at the bakery. Oh, you're gonna be... Wait a minute, we'll see you Friday. You're going to be there. So Friday, we're going to be over at Seed the Table. So you guys are going to come visit Seed the Table Friday. The show is going to be live, Seed the Table, 6 to 9. So that's going to be fun. Have some great breakfast. All right, Laura's is on the YouTubes. Either that or she's in Utah. One or the other. Good morning, Travis. Good to see you. All right, Gatorlyn is on the YouTubes. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. I appreciate it if you do that just because, you're just showing YouTube that people are watching. Not for any other reason. All right, let's see. Watching and listening on YouTube, Professor Lewis, good to see you there. November Sky, watching on YouTube. Love that sky. All right, Zenada, good morning. Good to see you. Looks like on Facebook there as well. And Peter's, YouTube? You're in the Keys? Is that where you are? All right, so we appreciate you all watching as you're getting up this morning. And more people continue to join in on the program, so we always appreciate wherever you're watching from. drewsteele.com, of course, the website there if you want to go, and might be the best place to start is drewsteele.com. Also, you've got Facebook, facebook.com/drewsteeleradio, wherever you are. MAPB on YT. MAPB YT. There you go. Hey! What are you doing? What are you doing, Dennis? Dennis is, are you working today or you're not working today? And where have you been? All right, Debbie, good morning. Debbie says hello to you, Jake. You want to come in here and just show your face so Debbie can see you? Come on in here, say hi. There's Debbie.
Hi,
there's
Debbie.
Jake.
How you doing, Debbie?
Jake's got a mask on. Why was I pushing the button as if you're in the other room and you were here with me the whole time?
It's just habit.
I know. All right. We're going to switch over right now to the broadcast. Appreciate everybody watching. Oh, all right, Brian. Hey, Brian. G-morning. All right, we'll see you in just a bit.
We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. There's a trend in the air conditioning business with the rip-off companies to become plumbers, electricians, and air conditioning companies all at the same time. The stories we hear about huge plumbing and electric work rip-offs go right along with the scams these firms tend to run with the AC side of their business. If your company is advertising AC, plumbing, and electric, it's very likely one of those scam artist telemarketing companies with the bait-and-switch cheap service call. If you need a plumber, hire a plumber. If you need an electrician, hire an electrician. If you need to throw money down a hole, pick one of those multi-trade firms, and they're more than willing to take your money. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Bryant, whatever it takes. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Do the math.
Taking care of your pool is probably not a good use of your time and money. Free $50 Bonefish gift certificates when you sign up for one of our award-winning weekly service plans. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Gulf Coast Coin and Jewelry is hosting our 5th annual Valentine's for Veterans benefit auction this Saturday, February 6th, starting at 11 a.m. in our Fort Myers gallery. Gulf Coast will be auctioning over 1,000 pieces of new high-fashion jewelry, designer jewelry, luxury timepieces, including Rolex, exquisite diamond and estate jewelry, and a huge variety of very cool collectibles. Great gifts for your Valentine at auction liquidation prices. Proceeds will go to the Bonita Bay Veterans Council, a 501c charity. First-time auction buyer? Every auction item is pictured, detailed, and described on our website at GulfCoastCoin.com. Bid online or join in the fun at Gulf Coast Coin and Jewelry, located on 41. Gulf Coast Coin and Jewelries are proud to help our local veterans and community with our 5th annual Valentine's for Veterans benefit auction. Join us Saturday, February 6th, or visit our website at Gulf Coast Coin to bid and make direct contribution to support our local veterans.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain, or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Glenn Beck at 9 and Rush at noon. Right now, it's Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
I would like to offer an unofficial prayer for the Dolphins draft board. We need a good draft. Thank you. God of our weary years.
I guess at this point, why not? There's Miami-Dade's State of the County address, starting with an invocation by Vice Chairman Oliver Gilbert III. And he started off by saying an unofficial prayer for the Miami Dolphins draft board. I guess, look, at this point, I mean, with the Dolphins, I guess anything could help, right? Well, the Dolphins weren't that bad last year, were they? I really didn't follow. I still don't follow. Who's playing in the Superior Bowl? Who's playing in that thing anyway? Do we even know?
No clue.
Yeah, all I know is that
it's Tampa Bay. What
is that? Yeah, that's right. There you go. Of course I know. Tampa Bay and Kansas City. I wonder if one of the biggest athletic supporters that we know, Joe Biden, will be there. Right? Isn't he Joe's a big athletic supporter, right?
Not a joke.
It's not. Stop. Hey, listen, speaking of supporting, support us. How you could do that, you might say, on Friday, this show will be live from Seed to Table. That's right. Friday, February 5th, this Friday, we will be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road on Friday. And we're looking forward. So they're going to open up an hour early. They're going to open up special for us at 6 a.m. So you can come in early, grab breakfast, hang out with us. We'll be upstairs. There's like a stage upstairs. So we'll be on the stage and you can sit. There's a great area to sit down, grab some food, grab some breakfast, hang out with us. And who knows, we'll have some special guests on. Maybe one of those guests will be you. I don't know. Maybe we might do kind of like a call-in, except instead of doing that, we'll just have Jake walk around and kind of ask and see if you want to come on the mic and talk. And we'll talk about local issues. We'll have some local leaders coming on, politicians. And it'll be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that. So Oak Farms Seed to Table. Man, if you have not been to Seed to Table, it is an absolutely amazing place. And it's a good thing you're going to get there at 6 a.m. because it's probably the only time you can get a parking spot. Believe me, if anybody's ever been there, they know that's when they're going to have to build a parking garage over the top of Seed to Table just to get people in. Can they do that? Seed to Table, Friday, 6 to 9. This show will be broadcasting live from Seed to Table. So come visit us, have some coffee. As my mother would say, we'll grab a coffee, we'll have like a muffin or something nice. Maybe a tart. 239-479-5592. All right, how did Governor Andrew Cuomo pull what some are calling a Hillary? Well, if you heard the audio from Friday, it's almost hard to believe. And when you contrast and compare that with our own governor, the governor making the announcement on Friday about the budget and what it's going to look like for the 2021-2022 year's budget, and how we are much different than other places around the country, as he explains.
Florida also led and continues to lead on protecting the livelihoods of our people.
Yep.
While so many other states kept locking people down, Florida lifted people up. We believe every job is essential. You work in a restaurant, we have your back. If you are a hairstylist, we protect your right to earn a living. And if you are a parent, we ensure your kids have the right to attend school in person. Lockdowns do not work. School closures have been disastrous. Yet even today, we see across our country businesses shuttered, lives ruined, and schools closed. Indeed, in major parts of the country, students might not return to in-person instruction until the fall. Florida schools are open. Every Floridian has a right to work. All businesses have a right to operate, and Florida is better for it.
That is the governor of the great state of Florida, and what a job he is doing, Governor Ron DeSantis, talking about COVID and what we've been able to accomplish here as far as getting Florida open, getting back to work, how he respects those that are trying to get back to work, and even what's happening with schools and getting people back into in-school learning. Although, Joy Behar, did you hear this? Joy Behar from The View, you ever watch that program? You don't watch the program. You just hear clips of us playing it because nobody really wants to watch the program. She's saying, listen, all school students have to do is just have everybody repeat a year. How'd you like that, Jake? Why don't we just do that? Everybody will just repeat the year that they missed last year, and everything will be just fine. Now, does that mean they get to repeat the year in school or out of classrooms? Did she discuss that part of it? I don't know if we want to get too heavy into that, right? I mean, there's anxiety, uncertainty. We just have everybody repeat the year. Is that such a far-out idea?
It's a terrible idea.
Of course it's a terrible idea. All of this is a terrible idea. Look, there are some things that you know for sure. And whether you want to hear it or not, they're just the fact, Jack. And you love science, you love data. If you're on the left, you love to hear the data. You love the numbers and the science because, you know, the government and science, that really is your omnipotent presence in your world. It's about people who are in the government that that really are the ones that rule your life, as opposed to some who believe that nobody walking on this earth at this moment in time rules our life. But you can see what has happened with schools and how awful an idea it is, and how the science does not in any way suggest that we need to have kids out of classroom learning. There is no reason for that. Listen, if you're somebody who's a teacher and you're concerned and you have a comorbidity and you don't want to be in that position, I understand that, but the facts are what they are right now, and these kids need to get back, and we can make accommodations for you, but do we have to listen to complete teachers' unions as a whole saying that they're going to use this as an opportunity for their unions to push for more money, to push for more benefits, to push for other things that they shouldn't be doing if they actually cared about the kids, like places like Chicago, where even the mayor of Chicago is saying kids got to get back to school, we're going back into the classrooms, and the unions are saying, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. But on the other side, too, is something that the governor talked about, which you just heard, which is how we have treated COVID in this state. How the amount of deaths, just by the numbers, sorry to tell you this if you're someone who's a Democrat who's listening that doesn't want to hear it, but the fact of the matter is the majority of deaths in this country due to COVID have happened in blue states. Why? Because the policies that they've put in place in these states have been policies of destruction, unfortunately. If you think that's hyperbolic, then explain why those numbers are the way they are. Because they haven't focused where the focus needs to be. You know where the governor has focused in this state. The elderly. We know the percentages of COVID, of who is dying from COVID. We know where those numbers lie. And they lie in the older generation. So we have the science and the data, and yet there are some that don't want to follow it. And there are some that are going to accuse others as being the fault in their state of their death rate. For example, nursing homes. Do you remember Hillary Clinton? It wasn't too long ago. Oh, in the when you go way back, way back in history. Here you go. And it was Hillary Clinton who just wanted to say to you, listen, what difference at this point?
What difference at this point does it make?
What difference at this point does? Hey, if you're watching on drewsteele.com, you just witnessed something that I got to do a little more often, right, Jake? Watch me. Do you remember Hillary Clinton when she said these words? Watch me, drewsteele.com. Go to the website. Here you go. You ready? Watch.
What difference at this point does it make?
I should do that more. Should I do that, or is that a bad thing to do?
Please.
What?
Please.
If you're watching, it's really disturbing what you watched.
Both.
It's disturbing and fun at the same time. Okay. Hillary Clinton's not fun. She's just disturbing. What difference does it make? You know, we had 4 dead Americans. Come on, who cares? What's the difference? What do we care? So here's Governor Cuomo first talking about the fact that COVID deaths in the state of New York in nursing homes was not the result of the policies that he put in place, not the result of the policies that you can just do a simple Google search and find these results. They are there for anybody to see. The decree coming down from the state of New York, from the Department of Health, that said, yes, you take COVID positive patients and send them back into nursing homes. Governor Cuomo wants nothing to do with that. Listen, don't even say that. It's the federal government that did it. It was Trump's federal government that did it. No, I'm not kidding. That's where he went.
When I say the State Department of Health, as the report said, the State Department of Health followed federal guidance. So if you think there was a mistake, then go talk to the federal government. It's not about pointing fingers or blame. It's that this became a political football, right?
No. You just, how do you do that? You've got to be, you're one slick politician. in that sentence, you said you can't blame anybody, but you just blame the federal government. How did you do that? That's amazing. That is only somebody on the left, a slick politician could do that. Could say, hey, listen, blame the federal government. Don't blame us when it comes to the nursing home deaths. We just followed federal government guidelines. No, you didn't. That's a flat out lie. And then saying, oh, listen, it's not about politics. We don't even want to go there. Let's not point the finger. You just pointed the finger at the federal government, and yet that is a flat out lie. And then here comes the worst part of what he says after he blames the federal government for the nursing home deaths, and then he says,
the same people are dying today. 96% of the people who die are older people with comorbidities, which happens to be the population that lives in nursing homes.
So why would you send positive patients back into nursing homes? And why isn't your number one focus, just like here in the state of Florida, knowing that that's where the numbers are and knowing the vulnerable population, why are you not focusing vaccines on that population? Why would you have to make it all about being PC? Why would you have to make it about others getting it before the most vulnerable? Why would you do that?
It's continuing today, even with all the testing that we're doing. If you look at New York State, we have a lower percentage of deaths in nursing homes than other states. A third of all deaths in this nation are from nursing homes. New York State, we're only about 28% only, but we're below the national average in number of deaths in nursing homes. But who cares? 33, 28, died in a hospital, died in a nursing home. They died.
What difference at this point does it make?
You know, nobody's going to say anything about that. Andrew Cuomo, governor of the state of New York, will be just fine saying that. Who cares? They died. Who cares? Just like Hillary Clinton, what difference at this point does it make? And the media protected her, and they'll protect Andrew Cuomo for making that despicable point. And as a matter of fact, in the state of New York, a one-party state, just like in California, it's going to be hard to get a Democrat out anyway. And that is really something, and we're going to go to break, Jake, right now, but something to think about. How is it as a Democrat, and unlike others who try to keep the Democrat Party out of the discussion, they don't want to accuse every Democrat of being a leftist. They don't want to accuse every Democrat of being like these individuals and saying these horrific things like Governor Cuomo said, and being so dismissive of this to try to protect what? Your legacy? Your books? And how hideous that is. That I say it because if you're somebody who's offended by me calling you out for being a Democrat and the policies that are and the things that people are doing as Democrats and the policies that are being pushed right now and the executive orders that are being pushed, and that's not you, then get out or do something to change your party. Otherwise, you're voting for these policies as a Democrat, unless you're a registered Democrat and you're voting against your party, in which case, then what are you doing anyway? All right, 239-479-5592. Don't forget drewsteele.com, the website, if you want to watch, DREWSTEELE. You can go to the website. You can go to facebook.com/DrewSteeleRadio as well. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. There's Sabrina Katz.
The interstate continues to back up from the crash at mile marker 133. This is south of Colonial Boulevard heading to Daniels. The best thing to do is to stick to tree line or 6 Mile to avoid this crash. We also have 3 crashes on 82. First crash at Columbus. Second crash is at 40th Street in 82. This is between Sunshine and Gunnery. And the third crash is at Gateway Boulevard in 82. And this is delaying traffic heading towards Colonial Boulevard. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some rain early, eventually we do dry out. Winds crank up. It is going to be a windy day. Wind gusts between 25 and 40 miles an hour possible, with a much cooler forecast with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
In this past election cycle, what I'm about to tell you was totally predictable. In Georgia, Republican state senator is sponsoring legislation to require a photo ID for people who want to vote by mail. Voters would have to send copies of their IDs to election officials when requesting mail-in ballots, and again when they return the ballot to be counted. Now, the reason for this is obvious: to eliminate fraud, both in the mail-in ballot requests and in the return ballots. The other thing predictable about the anti-fraud legislation is the Democrat Party's reaction to it. They hate it. Fair Fight, founded by Democrat Stacey Abrams, slammed it immediately. The group's claim is that the proposal unfairly expects Georgia residents to have access to a printer. Fair Fight also accuses Republicans of racism, of course. They say Republicans are trying to take away Georgians' ability to vote by mail because too many people of color voted by mail last time. Now, anybody could have predicted the Democrats would play the race card. It's their go-to move. But here's the truth. Requiring voter ID for secure and fair elections is not about race. It's never been about race. It's about election integrity, and the Democrats know it, which is why they will do everything in their power to fight it, resist it, and make sure it never happens.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit SavingTheInvestor.com.
Where can you shop for your Valentine and you don't have to know her size, you don't have to spend a fortune, and your gift is sure to please? Naples Soap Company, of course. They've got everything you need for a romantic and cozy Valentine's Day right at home. Luxurious body butters, bath bombs, body oils, candles, and more. Hit a home run this Valentine's Day with one of their pre-wrapped gift sets. Shop in stores at Naples Soap Company or online at naplessoap.com.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds at the most competitive prices in the world. Jason and Todd have partnered with De Beers in Canada and Africa, and they've traveled to Israel, Antwerp, and India to select the most beautiful diamonds. Visit the Diamond District today for your best diamond buying experience.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
Hello, I'm Dr. D'Amico. One of the most common questions I get is, how do we make a denture in a few days when other offices take a few months? Well, I have a denture lab on site. This allows us to create a custom denture just for you. You approve the color, the shape, even the position of all the teeth before you take it home. Have you ever seen a horrible looking denture? Well, it wasn't made in my office. Did you know that most dental offices send their dentures out to be made in other countries like Costa Rica, and even China. So call me, Dr. D'Amico, 234-5284. That's 234-5284. Do you need dental implants? If you need one implant or a mouthful of implants, don't just go to any dentist. Go to someone who performs implant surgery every day. Don't have your dental work done without a second opinion, especially implants and dentures. So call or visit our website to see our current specials, watch some informative videos, and even see before and after pictures of our current patients. So go to dentistofnaples.com. That's dentistofnaples.com. I'm Dr. D'Amico, and I want to help. 234-5284.
License number DN15639.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
Who can deliver the best pest control service for my money? And how much is it? National Exterminators, guaranteed. With most service plans at just $46. You gotta give them a call.
How much?
$46. In business for over 40 years. National Exterminators is a local family-owned business. National Exterminators' pledge to you is to always provide the highest level of service, guaranteed.
Wait, how much? Yeah, $46.
Don't pay more than $46. Now's the time to switch and save. Just call 46-NO-BUG. That's 46-NO-BUG. They'll clean it up, seal it up, and make sure your home is pest-free and comfortable. Call them at 239-46-NO-BUG or go to pestcontrolmadeeasy.com. Yes, just $46.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
Can they change President Biden's mind? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A group of Republican senators meets with him today, pushing their version of Corona financial aid. But Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders tells ABC's This Week,
If Republicans want to work with us, they have better ideas on how to address those crises, that's great. But to be honest with you, I have not yet heard that.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, the group will pitch a $600 billion counter-proposal to the president's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan. Republicans want to reduce stimulus checks from $1,400 to $1,000 and place tighter income limits for receiving them. There's one area of agreement, $160 billion for testing and vaccine distribution. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy told Fox News Sunday,
we match this figure when it comes to vaccination to increase capacity to make more vaccine more quickly, as well as to adapt to these variants which are coming across.
The Republican plan would also delay a hike in the minimum wage to $15. Dave?
Now, Rachel, former President Trump has two new lawyers for his Senate impeachment trial next week. He's accused of inciting the deadly Capitol attack. They plan to argue it's unconstitutional since Trump's now out of office.
Over the weekend, 5 members of his legal team abandoned the case, with sources telling Fox the lawyers did not support the president's push to focus on fraud claims tied to the election.
Fox's Mark Meredith. A showdown in Chicago. Mayor Lori Lightfoot ordering teachers kindergarten through 8th grade back to school today.
Those who do not report to work, and I hate to even go there, but we're going to have to take action.
The mayor insists schools are safe in this battle against COVID. Teachers demand to be vaccinated first. The storm that had people in the Midwest shoveling over the weekend now burying the Northeast. Some areas could get 2 feet of snow.
And the problem is we're going to have very strong winds with this, 50, 60, 70 mile per hour winds offshore. Wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw some blizzard warnings.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
The interstate continues to back up from the crash at mile marker 133. This is south of Colonial Boulevard heading to Daniels. The best thing to do is to stick to tree line or 6 Mile to avoid this crash. We also have 3 crashes on 82. First crash at Columbus. Second crash is at 40th Street in 82. This is between Sunshine and Gunnery. And the third crash is at Gateway Boulevard in 82. And this is delaying traffic heading towards Colonial Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some morning rain, gradually we do dry out. It is going to be a much cooler and windy day of weather. Wind gusts 25 to 40 miles an hour with afternoon temperatures only into the 60s. Then we fall into the 40s with an additional wind chill for your Tuesday morning. Highs only in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your chilly Tuesday as morning clouds eventually give way to sunshine. We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
When was the last time you ate at Spanky's Speakeasy in Naples? Hi, I'm Emily Monty, owner of Spanky's. We have been a Naples landmark for over 35 years, but my husband Ted and I have brought Spanky's back bigger and better than ever. Along with lunch and dinner, we now serve Naples' best breakfast served 7 to 10:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Dine inside amongst thousands of vintage antiques and memorabilia or outside on our open-air waterfront patio. At Spanky's, we are known for serving Naples' best prime rib and fresh seafood, along with an array of American cuisine. Don't forget to stop by our full-service bar to enjoy your favorite speakeasy cocktail and daily happy hour. Spanky's is now open 7 days a week. Sundays we feature live jazz entertainment on our patio for your enjoyment. While providing a friendly atmosphere, Spanky's is known for our southern charm. But more than ever, your safety and comfort is our #1 priority. Visit Spanky's today on Airport Pulling Road, just south of Golden Gate Parkway, Naples.
Hey, Sean here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all three questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
License number CCC 1331928.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're joining us today, 239-479-5592. On this Monday, where if you're living up north and you're listening to the sound of my voice, maybe you are watching at drewsteele.com at the website. It is mobile friendly. You can take us wherever you go. It's great for your phone or your mobile device, your computer. Anytime you want to watch us streaming, drewsteele.com is the website, DREWSTEELE. You can go to Facebook. A lot of people still want to go to facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. That's fine. YouTube, of course, at Drew Steele Radio, wherever you want to go to watch the program. If you're up north, it's going to be chilly. You got this winter storm coming in, right? You got this big snowstorm. They're talking about, a foot of snow in New York City, and you don't see that very often, the way New York City is and the heat of the pavement and the way the buildings are and all this stuff. Let's just say this. Does anybody want to take an over-under? Should we do like a little game this morning? I don't know, Jake. Maybe there are so many people that are doing the Wall Street game. You know, they're doing the GameStop bets, or they're trying to figure out what the next big short is going to be, and they're trying to get in on the action. Maybe without any money or anything. It's just kind of like and maybe you can even tell me, Jake. I do what I call pinky bets with my wife. Isn't that? Do you ever do pinky bets? Like if somebody said to you, she's always yelling at me and she keeps saying it's a pinky swear, not a pinky bet. Like if I say, I'm telling you right now that my son is going to be able to. What?
You can't. It's a pinky swear.
It's not a pinky bet? I do this thing where, like, if I bet her on something about my son and doing something or not doing something, and she's like, he won't do it. He'll totally do it. Let's make a bet. You don't do, that's not, you never do like a bet where you use your pinky and kind of like a pinky swear you do it? No? That's not a thing?
What's the reward in the pinky bet? I'm so confused.
You get to keep it. that.
So what if we don't? You cut my pinky off? I'm so
Listen,
confused.
I'm from New York, and I'm just telling you right now, growing up in an Italian house, you never knew. When you saw somebody, when you had, Frankie no pinky, you knew what happened to Frankie. He lost a pinky bet. It happens.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, that's right. You got it. Anyway, that's not really nice. The point is, let's have a little fun with this. Let's do an over-under. 239-479-5592. Or you can put it in the comments or reactions on drewsteele.com there at the website, or on Facebook or YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. Here you go. How many days after the huge snowstorm that's coming in? Do we do days or hours? Follow along with me, Jake, and help me. Or maybe you call 239-479-5592. How long after the snowstorm rolls through the Northeast will somebody say climate change? That the reason why we had a foot of snow in New York City, which is so uncommon, and it's not that it hasn't happened before, it has. How many, hours or days? What do we do? It's probably hours, because it's not going to take that long. How many hours after the snowstorm rolls through will we hear the words climate change? Because it's climate change. That's why it happened.
I already heard it this morning.
All right, so do you want to come up with how? Wait a minute, you already heard it this morning? Like it's already done? Like there's no...
It's already been heard.
So Frankie no pinky, he's not going to lose his pinky, his other pinky at all?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you ruined that bit. Never mind. Because it's going to be said. It's already been said this morning. Where did you hear it? Here? One of the local stations? Is that what you're suggesting? Please don't say that. Is that true? It didn't come up as climate change locally.
No, I don't think.
What, like
locally,
NBC
no.
Two or
was,
something? That they do some kind of
the webs.
Is it the webs? All right.
Might have been a meme, but still, it was. I saw it.
All right, it's coming. You're going to hear it, right? And what are we going to do to stop it, everybody? How do we do this? Joe Biden, the monarch, the king, King Joe. King Joe, he's got his own. Wasn't there a King Joe cereal, or was that a King? What was the King? It was a cereal that was out that had King as the first word. King Vitamin, that's it. Remember King Vitamin cereal? I'm on an island. Joe Biden, he's got this whole big climate agenda. He's got a climate czar. He's got all of these people who are going to tell us that there are things that we can do. Your carbon footprint. John Kerry, who's saying we got to stop with the carbon footprint, coming from a man who's riding in a private jet and has got a bunch of mansions and a 52-house mansion and everything else. And of course, it's for thee, not for me. You know how that works. So the Associated Press and the Washington Post fact-checked a pair of claims last week that the Biden administration had used misleadingly to sell its climate agenda to the American public. Now, what did they do? Remember when they said we're going to have 1 million new jobs in the American automobile industry? And that they could accomplish the feat by committing to replacing the federal government's fleet of 650,000 cars with electric models and creating incentives and regulations to transition the U.S. transportation infrastructure to support electric vehicles. So there's this big electric vehicle push. Just like with Keystone Pipeline, don't worry about it. We'll have you building solar panels. And the Associated Press was like, well, can we fact check this? How are you going to do this? 1 million new jobs in making electric vehicles as opposed to gas-powered vehicles, because we got to save the planet from ourselves. And they said it's far from certain, if not unlikely. Many experts, as well as the United Auto Workers, have said Biden's plan will result in a net loss of jobs in the transportation sector. But does it matter? I mean, the crunchy folks in this country, when I say crunchy folks, you know what I'm talking about. When somebody's crunchy, you know what that means, right? They like eating grape nuts and how else would you describe crunchy?
Peanut butter?
Yeah, no, not crunchy peanut butter, but they eat, they either eat healthy, they love
crunchy,
hugging trees and stuff like that. Save the planet, guys. That kind of thing. Okay, they're gonna say, so what? The losses, it's just like $15 an hour minimum wage. So what? 1 million people will be lifted up with more money in their pockets, but we're going to lose 1.3 million jobs, 300,000 jobs in the, so what? It's worth it, isn't it? I don't know. Tell the person losing their job it's worth, the minimum wage was worth it. Tell these net loss of jobs in this industry that it's okay that they're losing their jobs because they can go out and build solar panels or screwdrivers or pens. I don't know. PPPs, whatever. PPPs? I meant PPEs. I don't know what I meant. General Motors, here's a story, right, from CBS Money Watch. Eliminate gas-burning vehicles by 2035. That's it. Next 14 years, we're not making them anymore. GM is not going to make any more gas-burning vehicles in 2035. No diesel, no gas, nothing. It's going to be all electric, baby. The most significant carbon impact comes from tailpipe emissions of the vehicles that we sell. In our case, it's 75%. They're feeling guilty, everybody. Mary Barra, CEO, announced on Thursday, it's us. We're the problem. We're doing this. So GM's going to get out of the gas-burning fuel business, diesels and the like. 14 years, plenty of time to turn it around. Maybe, maybe not. But the time isn't now, is it? You know, all these jobs and the million new jobs that will be created by having the federal government, let's just say, buying only electric vehicles. And look, Tesla's cool. Jake is nothing more than that Jake would love than to drive a Tesla. I would love to have a Tesla. I think the Teslas are cool. I like the idea. But let's be realistic about how a Tesla is powered and how it is not powered. Can I just play this little ditty for you? Because I wonder if people realize this enough. And Jake, you're going to like this. This is going to be probably one of your most favorite segments in a long time. You ready? So here's the thing. GM wants to eliminate gas-burning vehicles by 2035. They want to jump on it right now. You got to start thinking about it. There are those that are suggesting that the wave of the future is right now and how these vehicles are going to save the planet. And you have the... who was it exactly? It was... let me just get this right. Oh, that's right. Gina McCarthy, the climate czar. You know, we got a czar for everything. John Kerry, Gina McCarthy, suggesting that, listen, this is the wave of the future. This is what we have to do, and the wave is right now. I want you to listen to this little ditty as GM was announcing in Michigan about their Chevy Volt. And there was a reporter who had a few questions to ask because... remember, the premise here is that electric vehicles we got to get to sooner rather than later. We got to shut down coal-fired plants. The coal industry needs to go out of business. We need to have oil out of business. The Keystone XL pipeline. So what about the jobs that are lost? We don't care. We just got to shut it down. Joe Biden killing jobs left and right. He is the preeminent job killer in this country. Listen to this. And as we go back, Jake, listen, you're going to like this. This is good stuff. So this is, at the time, for GM, this is Kristen Zimmerman of General Motors that was introducing Michigan to the Chevy Volt. Listen to this.
Really grateful to be here today, and in fact, this is a chance for me to say thank you more formally. The Chevy Volt is upstairs. We'll be able to take a look at it.
So they get out of the conference room. They're in the basement. They're in the conference room. They want to show the Chevy Volt. They're introducing it to everybody there in Michigan.
We got about 1,000 photos.
Yeah, they're going to take a lot of photos. They're walking outside. There's a gentleman who's getting ready to show how you plug the thing in and power it up.
Here's the plug.
Here's the plug. And the side.
It's as simple as that.
Simple as that. You put it right in the side of the vehicle, and boom, there's the Chevy Volt being powered up. So there are questions. So Kristen Zimmerman, the General Motors at the time, is like, hey, listen, this is the future. You thought we were going to get rid of electric? Hold on to your hats.
The batteries are in the trunk?
No, the battery in this particular design is a T shape right down the center.
Yep.
And across the back seat area.
Showing off where the vehicle has all of its battery powered underneath, right? And okay, cool.
Because everybody thought we killed the electric vehicle. No, we didn't. It's alive and well.
Yeah, no, they didn't. You thought we were going to kill it. No. We're doubling down by 2035. We're going to have all kinds. As a matter of fact, it's all we're going to sell. Here's the pièce de résistance, as they like to say. You ready, Jake? Here's the money shot.
So what's charging the batteries right now? What's the source of
Well,
electricity?
here, it's coming from the building.
I mean, is it what's our mix of power?
Oh, actually, Lansing feeds the building.
What's that?
Lansing feeds power to the building.
Lansing. So the guy's like, where are you getting the power from? She's like, oh, the building's getting the power. He's like, yeah, but where's the building getting the power from? And she's like, oh, Lansing. You know, the Michigan Power. That's where we get the power from.
So I don't know. I bet you they're a bit of coal. They're heavy on natural gas, aren't they?
Yeah, so she's like, I think they're heavy on natural gas, or maybe coal. You know, how they power the building, where the electric comes from to power the car. So they find Michigan Power and Light CEO, who happens to be there as well. And the reporter asks...
right now the car's charging off of...
Okay, yeah, so he's like, how's the car getting the power?
Right now the car's charging off of your grid.
Right. It would be charging off our grid, which is about 95% coal.
So the electric vehicle is being powered by the building, which is getting its power from Michigan Power and Light. Power's got to come from someplace. So the head of Michigan Power and Light want to let everybody know that the way that Lansing, Michigan gets their power is through their power plant. And the power plant is powered by coal. Joe Biden wants to get rid of coal. Fossil fuels.
How are you going to power your little electric car?
Little bunnies. Put the little bunnies inside. The little bunnies run on a little treadmill. The bunnies run fast. Bunnies run strong.
Maybe they make us all run on treadmills.
Listen, I would love to have an electric vehicle. I would love to have a Tesla. They're cooler than anything. They're absolutely cool with the big dashboard thing, and there's no sound. It's just the sound of the breeze. It's great. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, a Tesla. But when you've got an administration who's trying to destroy an industry that powers the vehicle, it powers the car. What are you going to switch over to? How many places are going to be willing to jump in and switch over their power to be able to power these vehicles away from the one thing that is not expensive for them, the one that is reliable, the one that is abundant? But we're told there's no other way to, when it comes to coal-fired, when you're burning coal, it's this dirty, sooty thing. There's just absolutely, positively no other way to handle this. No, there isn't. We could probably make some advancements in how clean we can make a coal-fired plant, but we can't put any money into that because it would keep an industry open that we want destroyed. That always fascinates me. People want to say that clean energy is cheaper than fossil fuels. It's the expense. It's cheaper than the fossil fuels, and yet fossil fuels that are powering the clean energy revolution. I would just like for the left to admit it. That's all. I mean, maybe you don't have to. Look, again, there are plenty of conservatives that love to take care of the environment. I think we all do. I don't know of one single conservative that changes the oil in their driveway and just, let it run into the gutter. Nobody does that. They just don't. They care as much as you do. They're all so realists. I heard that audio again. It's been a while. It's just like, whew. All right, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live at drewsteele.com, the website. Just click on it. It's mobile friendly, great for your phone, for your app. I mean, not for your app. It's like an app, but it's great for your phone and great for your mobile device, your computer. And certainly you can go to YouTube or Facebook, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are gonna need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are intelligent. You make all the right decisions. You were smart before smart was cool, and you made it cool again. You have a wealth of knowledge, and you are so very clever. I bet you already knew I was going to say that, you genius. There, don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you hear you could save big when you switch to Progressive. But I'm pretty sure you already knew that, too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. I'm going to talk to you about LASIK and Botox. That's right. I want to tell you about my buddy, Dr. France, and his team at France Eye Care and also the France Cosmetic Center. Here's the deal. Right now through February 28th, France Eye Care is offering $1,000 off of bilateral LASIK. Dr. France and his team did my LASIK procedure. It changed my life. It was amazing. I was blind. I'd have to hold my phone or book about an inch from my face. They're also doing Botox. Haven't had Botox yet from Dr. France and his team at the France Cosmetic Center, but maybe someday. We'll see. See more clearly with $1,000 off of bilateral LASIK. Enjoy a Botox touch-up for a discounted rate also at the France Cosmetic Center. Scheduled today with both the Eye Care Center and Cosmetic Center. Star 2020 from your mobile phone.
Friends, I care.
If you're moving, selling, or purchasing furniture and need help getting it home, there are a lot of moving companies to choose from. But wait, all moving companies are not created equal. Sure, if you're moving your college students' furniture, hiring young movers is fine. But if you're moving highly valued items, you need Rice's Moving and Transport. They meticulously pad wrap everything and secure your valuables and gently pack, transport, and set them up. Rice's Moving and Transport employs skilled professional movers who respect your belongings, not just young hunks who can lift heavy things. Moving is stressful enough. Don't stress about hiring the right moving company. Here's what Teresa in Naples said about Rice's Moving and Transport. I was so impressed when your moving crew came to my home. They politely introduced themselves by name. Seems small, but it made an impression. When you need help moving, trust Rice's Moving and Transport. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, I just want to remind you, if you are in Southwest Florida and you would like to watch this program live, we are going to be on the road finally. First Fridays, we're calling it. First Fridays at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. Will be there this Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. They're opening it up early for us. They usually open at 7 a.m. They'll be opening at 6 a.m. so you can grab breakfast, grab a coffee, some great food, and so much more. If you've never been to Seed to Table, it's amazing. This Friday, 6 to 9, we'll be live. Join us.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. LED color-changing pool lights can create an after-dark backyard oasis. Pick your color or select one of the light shows. You can see how dramatic it really is on our website. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Hey, Sean here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all 3 questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
License number CCC 1331928.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my friend TJ, owner of the Floormeisters in Naples, where if you're talking Cortec, you're talking Floormeisters. And the one thing that I love, TJ, is when we're talking about pricing, you got to be straight up with the pricing, right?
Yep, we buy more Cortec every day so we can sell it to you cheaper. I buy it by the pallet, by the truckload, so you're making sure you always get the lowest price possible. We keep it here in our 15,000 square foot store. Big selection, big, beautiful showroom to make sure your wife gets exactly what you want, Drew.
Yeah, and how about me? You know, I like to get what I want as well. And also, of course, the color selection, right? You got some new ones.
Got 100 colors right now, and we're adding about 10 to 15 from Cortec that just came out for 2021.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floormeisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com. Hey, it's Drew Steele from Daybreak. Look, it's been a while since we've taken the show on the road, but we're doing it on Friday, February 5th. We're going to be live at Oaks Farms Seed to Table Market in North Naples for our first Friday series. The market's going to be open at 6 a.m. to welcome you. You can grab a cup of coffee, a delicious breakfast. Friday, February 5th, we are on the road again at Oaks Farms Seed to Table, and that's on Immokalee Road, just west of I-75 in North Naples. We hope to see you live Friday, February 5th. It's our first Friday series with 92.5 Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden's agreed to meet today with a group of 10 Republican senators about their $600 billion coronavirus financial relief plan. It's about a third of what the president's asked for. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy on Fox News Sunday.
If you want unity, if you want bipartisanship, you ought to start with a group that's shown it's willing to work together for a common solution. They did not.
Pennsylvania House Democrat Matt Cartwright tells Fox,
"We're willing to compromise, but we're in such a hurry to get this done."
Democratic leadership has said a bill will pass with or without Republican support. States of emergency are declared over a big snowstorm in New York and New Jersey with up to 2 feet of snow expected in some places.
The snowfall totals are going to be really impressive, especially around the New York City area where some of the heaviest bands are going to set up, especially this afternoon. And then we're going to have those very strong winds and some blizzard conditions.
Fox meteorologist Janice Steen. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on 75 is still active, slowing traffic for about a quarter mile. If you're heading south of Colonial to Daniels Parkway, the crash-free option, Tree Line or 6 Mile. Unfortunately, that crash at Columbus and 82 is really delaying traffic on 82. Starting from Bell all the way to Columbus, we're at a creep and crawl, so stick to Meadow to avoid it. However, if you are heading out of Gateway, a place to avoid as well is Gateway Boulevard. There's a crash at 82 and Gateway Boulevard, so just stick to Griffin Drive. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some morning rain, gradually we do dry out. It is going to be a much cooler and windy day of weather. Wind gusts 25 to 40 miles an hour with afternoon temperatures only into the 60s. Then we fall into the 40s with an additional wind chill for your Tuesday morning. Highs only in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your chilly Tuesday as morning clouds eventually give way to sunshine. We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Imagine an exclusive fishing adventure in Key West. A private cooking lesson from a master chef. A chance to play in an exclusive golf pro-am. Or owning a custom piece of art from a world-renowned painter, all while supporting the mission of NCEF, helping disadvantaged and at-risk children in Collier County. Don't imagine? Go to NWWFonlineauction.com and bid on these or other once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. That's NWWFonlineauction.com. A partnership of the Naples Winter Wine Festival, NCEF, and Gulf Shore Life.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Had a chance to visit A Locksmith, their showroom in North Naples, and Andrew is the owner. He is a fantastic guy. Get a chance to talk to him. He's a former police officer and an expert on home security. Maybe you have some needs like a safe, a Liberty safe. They are the only Liberty safe dealer in Collier County. And I don't know if you know, but A Locksmith is the oldest locksmith in Collier County and comes with a stellar reputation for professional quality and service. Their staff licensed, bonded, and insured and available, and 100% satisfaction is always guaranteed. Their employees are great. No contractors. They have all their employees there, and they are always professional, on time, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. So if you're looking for your next Liberty safe, you want to go to A Locksmith. They have 2 Naples showroom, one in North Naples, across from Mercado, and one in the city of Naples, just north of Mooring Line Drive on US 41. Or if you want to find out more, visit alocksmithnaples.com.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response springs.
Hannity at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Coming up in about 10 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We got to do it because we need that Civics 101 lesson. Everybody knows we're not getting it from many places lately, and even politics. So we're going to play that coming up in 10 more minutes. We'll see how you do. Looking forward to that. Also, a reminder, Seed to Table, Oaks Farm, Seed to Table. We will be there. The whole show is, we're taking it on the road. Finally, we're going to get out of this place. We're going to get out of our homes. We're going to get out of this building, and we're going to make it to you because we want to see you. We want to hang out with you. And what better place to start our first Fridays than Seed to Table, which will be the first Friday of every month. We're going to get out on the road, and we'll be there the corner of Livingston and Immokalee in Naples. And we hope that you will join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're opening at 6 a.m. early with us so that you can enjoy a breakfast and grab a cup of coffee and breakfast and just hang out with us. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm just looking at this. So just a little while ago, a conservative climate activist. Okay, there you go. There's one. His name is Benji Backer. And what, listen, just know that as we were talking about, climate change and man-made, and we got the snowstorm running through, and to Jake's point, the snowstorm that's running through the Northeast right now, what a perfect opportunity to get people onto the major media, false news networks, to get them to talk about how it's climate change and you're the problem when we have to do all these things and spend this enormous amount of money to make the changes because our scientists say that it is man-made and it's the only way to stop it. Is the climate changing? Yeah, it appears as it is. Does it happen for millennia? Yeah, it does. And there are some climate scientists that have said it's not a climate emergency. We can talk about some of the things that we should be doing, but no, those are dismissed. Conservatives, we are always dismissed because you're a conservative. That means you hate the environment. You're throwing your motor oil in the backyard and you're taking your dog poo and I don't even know if dog poo has anything to do with it. I just was trying to think of the most disgusting because, that's what the left thinks about you as a conservative. You can't possibly like or care about the environment and be a conservative, which is the most ridiculous notion. It's as ridiculous as saying that you may disagree with somebody who has a different lifestyle than you do. Maybe it has to do with the LGBTQ transgender lifestyle, that you may disagree with the lifestyle, but somehow that you can't love that person. You can't support them as a human being, which is ridiculous. Of course you can. You can disagree with people for all kinds of reasons and still care about them and love them as human beings. It's actually possible. And most people do. You just haven't given it a chance to find out. You're just making an assumption. So here's some conservative climate activist who was on one of the major news outlets, CBS to be exact. And again, if they're bringing somebody on, it's somebody that's going along with what they feel the narrative is, right? So
going around in an electric car to fight for climate change solutions could have such success meeting with such a diverse group of individuals on what we call the electric election road trip.
The election, or I can't even say that fast because the election comes out wrong when you say it fast. Anyway, what?
I wonder, Benji, did you get a lot of pushback from fellow conservatives when you were out there, and what did you say to them?
Yeah, so conservatives, pushback. This guy is a climate activist. Pushback. What do we have?
Not while we were out there. We were meeting some incredible conservative leaders who were fighting for climate solutions within their own business community or activism community or even elected officials. There are dozens and dozens of conservative elected officials wanting to weigh in on this, and that will only continue over the next couple of months. But when I'm met with pushback and when our organization is met with pushback, it really doesn't matter to us.
No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, you push back again because we want to give you what our scientists have told us, that it's not a climate emergency, that maybe there are certain things that nope, push them back. Here's a conservative climate activist who's saying, oh, no, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Here in the state of Florida, it's the same thing. We can, again, and forgive me if you disagree with this. And by the way, we're going to have, in just a couple of more minutes, Matt Caldwell's going to join us because I want to talk about the governor's budget last week, presenting the budget. A lot of money for the environment, a lot of money for teachers, a lot of money in this budget going up. And of course, there's going to be lots of places that we're going to have to cut, that we're going to have to examine this budget. We'll talk about that coming up in about 15 more minutes. But when he says the opposition doesn't matter to us, I'm sorry, we don't want to hear it, that even in the state of Florida, there are simple things that I would even ask. I appreciate that there are many people who are concerned about the environment here in the state of Florida. There are those who are concerned about what's happening in the Everglades, that are concerned about Lake O. It's something that isn't going away. Red tide is always going to be part of the discussion. It's always going to be part of the discussion. And that there are individuals who feel like we can spend tens of hundreds of millions of dollars towards the environment, things that we need to do, that we'll talk to Matt Caldwell about, and then even the research. I would love to see an accounting of the research and where it's going and what is being researched and what we're planning on doing. Because I might make the suggestion that if the governor is giving a lot of money to environmental groups who are suggesting that it's conservatives that are the problem, Republicans, Trump supporters that are the problem because they're really the ones that hate the environment. And ultimately, it's the way people individually treat the environment as conservative Trump supporters. And we're giving money through the state government to these groups that don't like you necessarily, then I'm pretty sure that that all comes around, if you know what I'm saying, politically. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just saying something that is completely ridiculous, but I'd love an accounting. Is there anything wrong with that? Just tell me where you're spending the money. What are you using it for? It's your money. It's my money. I'd like to know how you're spending it. I'd love an accounting. All right, I just saw that pop up on my feed, so enough of that. 239-479-5592. Weren't there moments about, what was this? Was this, here's one of your, this is one of your perfect Jen Psaki moments. Jen Psaki, who has some really wild moments of her own. She circles back a lot.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. But I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you.
This was a weird moment. The White House press briefing on Friday. Somebody asking about
be used at vaccination centers.
The use of vaccination centers. This was COVID related, and somebody was saying the use of vaccination centers and how that's going, and there was some discussion as to whether or not these vaccination centers have been performing properly, have been disseminating the vaccines the right way, and how the administration views this. So a reporter asked that.
Groups be used at vaccination centers when they get stood up across the country. Does the White House support that request?
I did ask our team about this. You or someone else may have asked about this the other day, and I think I have something on it here. One moment. Thanks for your patience. Lots to say about COVID, no doubt about it. Let's see. Let me talk to our team about it.
Yeah, let me circle back. We got to do that, right?
I'll circle back.
Yeah, she's got to circle back. Just say you don't know and it'll get back to you. Circle back. That's what you were doing before. And instead, you're flipping through pages. But she is brilliant. There are people that are talking about Jen Psaki as just a breath of fresh air. I mean, just the facts that just spew out of her mouth. It's just, she's so smooth. And again, being described as pretty cringeworthy. But but it's okay. What else is going on? 239-479-5592. Okay. Oh, hey, I got to mention this. I didn't realize that peace throughout the world is created by individuals and groups that loot and destroy and tear down and damage and are Marxists all at the same time. That is how you establish peace. So much so that the Black Lives Matter movement has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Who saw that one coming? In his nomination statement, Norwegian member of parliament Peter Eide writes, quote, "I find that one of the key challenges we have seen in America, but also in Europe and Asia, is the kind of increasing conflict based on inequality. Black Lives Matter has become a very important worldwide movement to fight racial injustice. They've had a tremendous achievement in raising global awareness and consciousness about racial injustice. They've also had an awareness and consciousness of how to loot and destroy and damage and to show their Marxist ways. Again, an organization that is Marxist, not my words. The head of Black Lives Matter, who admitted this, the co-founder describing herself as a trained Marxist, Patrisse Cullors, must be loving this. Must be absolutely loving this. I mean, it's... You sit back and it's almost maddening to imagine that there are groups doing what they're doing, saying what they're saying, and destroying what they're destroying, and are being lauded and given peace prizes and being discussed in the same places where these Nobel laureates have been put for the longest period of time, and are thinking to themselves, this is too easy. Okay. And we're looking at this and thinking, somehow the Trump supporters are the problem. Somehow they're the ones that need to be silenced. Somehow they're the ones whose voices need to go away. I mean, we're constantly hearing about it. How so many are trying to censure the voices of those in Congress just for supporting Donald Trump in 2020. And people are frustrated about how even justice is being served, and I get it. We find out that Kevin Kleinsmith, the ex-FBI lawyer, who was the individual who was an assistant general counsel in the FBI's cyber law branch, pleading guilty in August to altering a June 2017 email he received from a CIA employee regarding Carter Page. The CIA employee wrote that Page had been a quote-unquote source for the spy agency through 2013. Kleinsmith forwarded the email to FBI colleagues, but altered the document to say that Page was not a source. He, thanks to an Obama judge, Boasberg, district court judge, ordered Kleinsmith to receive 12 months of probation. Probation! 400 hours of community service, a sentence far more lenient than the 3 to 6 months in prison sought by John Durham, the U.S. Attorney for Connecticut. Probation. Do you realize you could get more of a fine for not wearing a mask in certain places in this country than Kleinsmith got in altering documents, altering an email? And how frustrating to people is that? 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on drewsteele.com, the website. drewsteele.com, DREWSTEELE. Steele has 3 E's, so you can go to the website. It's mobile friendly, great for your phone or your smart device if you want to take us along with you to work or wherever you're going, or watch on the computer, and then facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio as well. All right, listen, if you would like to play right now, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, see how those Civics 101 chops of yours are, and see how much you know about politics. For some, it's the only way you're ever going to learn about this stuff. Here we go. Caller number 3, 239-479-5592. We'll take the third caller right now, and if you would like to play, we'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, there's Sabrina Katz.
The crash on 75 is now delaying traffic between MLK all the way to Daniels. So the best thing you can do to avoid this, take Ortiz to 6 Mile, or you can head through the Forum, take Colonial to Tree Line, and you can avoid I-75 if you're heading southbound. Also a mess is a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard. Traffic is at a standstill on that extension heading out of Lehigh Acres. So if you're heading to 75, go ahead and stick to Colonial Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some rain early, eventually we do dry out. Winds crank up. It is going to be a windy day. Wind gusts between 25 and 40 miles an hour possible, with a much cooler forecast with highs only in the 60s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. and take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
If you're moving, selling, or purchasing furniture and need help getting it home, there are a lot of moving companies to choose from. But wait, all moving companies are not created equal. Sure, if you're moving your college students' furniture, hiring young movers is fine. But if you're moving highly valued items, you need Rice's Moving and Transport. They meticulously pad wrap everything and secure your valuables and gently pack, transport, and set them up. Rice's Moving and Transport employs skilled professional movers who respect your belongings, not just young hunks who can lift heavy things. Moving is stressful enough. Don't stress about hiring the right moving company. Here's what Teresa in Naples said about Rice's Moving and Transport. I was so impressed when your moving crew came to my home. They politely introduced themselves by name. Seems small, but it made an impression. When you need help moving, trust Rice's Moving and Transport. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right. Let's go to Eric. Eric's in Naples. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Drew. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, sir. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree question, sir. Starts right now. Eric, do you know who the president of the United States was in the year 1982? 1982. Who was the president?
That would be Reagan.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. Let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? The main concern of the United States during the Cold War. We had a Cold War because of what? What were we concerned about?
Being turned into glass.
Okay. Well, was it democracy, capitalism, or communism?
It was communism.
Yes, it was. It was. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's yeah. All right. Well,
I think really being turned into glass.
Yeah. Well, that's another way of putting it. Okay, I get it. All right. You got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 1865, Abraham Lincoln's assassin was surrounded by federal troops. He was shot and killed. Who was Abraham Lincoln's assassin?
Oh, jeez. John Wilkes Booth.
That is correct, sir. All right. You got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. In 1872, this president established Yellowstone National Park. Who was the president who established Yellowstone National Park? Was it
1872?
Well, yeah, I was going to give you a multiple choice, but unless you want to roll with it.
Oh no! If you were going to give me a choice,
yeah,
go ahead.
Was it Grant, Polk, or Harrison?
I'll say Polk.
That was Grant. President Grant in 1872 established Yellowstone National Park. Well, hey, listen, you did well. The last one was flat out a guess, so you just got to admit that. But you've learned something today, Eric, and that's what it's all about. It's about walking away from this program and learning something so valuable that the next time you're gathered with friends and you're just looking for useless information to impress somebody in the family, you'll know that it was President Grant who established Yellowstone. And think about what that'll mean.
Hey, I got a solution for the global warming.
Okay, can you say it in 12 seconds or less?
Yes.
Go.
Those tiny nuclear power plants that they're talking about now, you line them all up along the Sahara. You build pipelines and you turn the Sahara.
Okay, well, we lost them.
New Year's resolutions. We all make them. We all break them. That's why your small business needs more than resolutions. It needs solutions. And you can get them with Comcast Business. Whether you want to work more efficiently with fast, reliable internet and advanced Wi-Fi, make your business safer with powerful cybersecurity solutions, or stay productive with 24/7 support, we've got the solutions you need for your business to get there. So make this year's resolution better solutions. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with an amazing offer from Comcast Business to kick off 2021. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 2/7/21. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Out with the old, in with the new. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News, a shakeup in former President Trump's legal team as he gets ready for the Senate impeachment trial next week. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, the former president has hired new legal representation after 5 lawyers parted ways over the direction of the defense's argument. A source tells Fox News it was a mutual decision. The AP reports the disagreement was over Trump's push for claims of election fraud during arguments set to begin next week. Trial lawyers David Schoen and Bruce Castor are now representing the former president. They released a joint statement saying the strength of our Constitution is about to be tested like never before in our history, adding it was a document written for the ages and it will triumph over partisanship yet again. Dave?
Rachel, later today, a group of 10 Republican senators will meet with President Biden, pushing a smaller coronavirus relief bill, a third of the Democrats' $1.9 trillion plan. Senator Bill Cassidy tells Fox News Sunday,
if you want unity, if you want bipartisanship, you ought to start with a group that's shown it's willing to work together.
Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders on ABC's This Week says bipartisanship is not the issue.
The issue is, are we going to address the incredible set of crises and the pain and the anxiety which is in this country?
Senator Sanders, actually an independent who caucuses with Democrats. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has ordered teachers, kindergarten through 8th grade, back to school today, saying kids need to be in classrooms.
They need us desperately right now. We don't have a moment to waste.
And the mayor says schools are COVID safe.
There's been more than $100 million pumped into investments to make the school safe. Screenings, temperature checks, and PPE, just to name a few. But CPS teachers say they want to get vaccinated before they go back to school.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer, a possible teacher strike looms. America's listening to Fox News.
Some big 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on 75 is now delaying traffic between MLK all the way to Daniels. So the best thing you can do to avoid this, take Ortiz to 6 Mile, or you can head through the Forum, take Colonial to Tree Line, and you can avoid I-75 if you're heading southbound. Also a mess is a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard. Traffic is at a standstill on that extension heading out of Lehigh Acres. So if you're heading to 75, go ahead and stick to Colonial Boulevard. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some morning rain, gradually we do dry out. It is going to be a much cooler and windy day of weather. Wind gusts 25 to 40 miles an hour.
with afternoon temperatures only into the 60s. Then we fall into the 40s with an additional wind chill for your Tuesday morning. Highs only in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your chilly Tuesday as morning clouds eventually give way to sunshine. We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency or storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Minutes still matter when it comes to medical emergencies. In some cases, fast care can be life-saving, especially for heart attacks and strokes. So don't delay or be afraid to get help if you need it. Physicians Regional Healthcare System is safe and ready to care for you, with limited entry points, screening for everyone, deep cleaning, and social distancing. We're taking extra precautions to help keep you safe. Don't put off emergency care. Visit ercarephysiciansregional.com or call 911 in an emergency.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them too. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, this is Pop-Up introducing an old friend, Tim Weir of Wise Owl Roofing. Tim specializes in metal roofs, flat roofs, and re-roofing tile roofs. If you need a free estimate, please call me at 945-2700. As always, we offer our free tile roof inspection. If you have a dirty tile roof or have some slipped or cracked tiles, please call me at 945-2700. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we want to thank all of you that have responded to Papa's wacky commercials over the past 34 years. We specialize in cleaning and sealing tile roofs. If your roof went through Hurricane Irma and you don't see any damage, it's still a good idea to have your tile roof inspected to make sure your roof is in good shape. Over the years, we've collected thousands of the old concrete tiles that have never been used, and likely we can match your existing tile that need to be replaced. Please call Papa at 945-2700. That's area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. 239-479-5592. I'm laughing. All right, is this Matt Caldwell? Matt Caldwell is joining us. We're going to talk about the budget here, the governor and the budget and state of Florida and some of the things that are going on. But I want to bring Matt in on this conversation. I want to bring in Jake on this conversation before we get started, because I want to just tell you what happened live as I was in the break room. And it's one of those things that is just glorious. When it happens and other people are there to witness it, it's the best thing ever. So first things first, 239-479-5592. You can watch at drewsteele.com. You go to the website, just click there. It's mobile friendly. It's set up for your phone. It's set up for your mobile device. It's set up for you to watch on your computer or even at home. And then you can go to facebook.com/drewsteelradio as well. All right, Matt, you ready for this?
Hit me.
Okay, here we go. And Jake, you ready for this?
I hope.
This was classic. So I'm in the break room. I'm watching CBS News. They're doing the morning show. The first thing they're talking about is this big snowstorm that's running through the Northeast. I mean, it's huge. I mean, we're talking about 2 feet of snow in some areas upstate in Pennsylvania, New York. We're talking about lots of snow. And, it's wintertime. There's typical snowstorms, right? That's what happens. And so we're sitting there, and the guy is in, and then they say, let's swing it over to Joe Johnson, or whatever his name is. He's in Central Park in New York City. And there he is. He's giving the weather report. The snow's falling around him. He's talking about the snowfall in New York City and what is going on there in Central Park and what is happening along the Northeast in Connecticut and New Jersey. And then, Jake, I turn to the people that are in the break room with me, and one of them is Greg right behind me. And I said to him, so the guy on the morning show, CBS Morning Show, says, so, Joe, what typically, is this typical that we would have a snowfall like this in New York City? And I said to everybody, I said, you're queuing it up. Here we go. He's stepping up to the plate. He's queuing it up. You ready for this? And the guy says, I said he's queuing it up. He's going to say climate change. The next words out of his mouth are going to be climate change. And he goes, well, I got to tell you, whatever his name is, we don't typically have a whole lot of snow here in Central Park. But due to climate change, I was dancing around the newsroom. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. It was just, I'm sorry. It's the little things in life, Matt. You knew it was going to happen. You knew that they were going to take a snowstorm that has happened in the Northeast forever. Make it into climate change now, because you know that's where they have to run. And it was so sweet, because I was sitting there with the people in the break room, and I'm like, just watch it happen. Here's the setup. Here they go. Here's the pitch. And he said it just as clear as the wind-driven snow. Sorry, I just had to share that with you. How are you this morning?
Great, doing great. I tell you, it's absolutely incredible. I don't know, I'm maybe foggy on my history, but I recall that George Washington, when he evacuated New York City and then a couple weeks later attacked the Hessians in Trenton, New Jersey, wasn't the river iced over? But, I mean, that was only 200 some odd years ago. So
yes,
climate change.
Listen, you as a historian knows this kind of thing, but you, Matt Caldwell, as a historian, should also know that. Do you know the cow flatulation that was going on in New York City at that time? Do you know what kind of flatulation was happening with the horses that were around at that time? I mean, there were plenty of things. And if man didn't introduce horses and flatulation. Sorry, there was no call for that at all whatsoever. I could have left that part out of the conversation completely. I really had you on for something else. Sorry, that's the little things in life that get you excited. All right, so the governor rolled out his third and by far most ambitious budget last week. Legislative panels are going to begin the preliminary review this week. Give me an overview. What did you think? It's just the governor doing what he does. It's the budget, and they're going to negotiate.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, this is his duty to give the legislature his perspective on things. He got the typical funding you expect from budget. You got environmental spending.
Wait, hold on a second, Matt. Before your phone's kind of breaking up a little bit. I don't know where you are in your house or wherever you are right now. We need to find another place for you. Walk around.
All right. How's that?
That's perfect. Stay right there. Hold your arms in that position. Go.
All right. So it is typical budget time. You know, the governor has to propose his plans for the future and let the legislature figure out where they want to go with it. But you got environmental spending, you got education spending, you got his transportation spending, and of course, some additional spending for COVID issues and how to respond to that. I think some of them will certainly be embraced by the legislature, particularly the ones that continue longstanding policies, and others are going to get a lot of questions. You've got proposals to bring back, for example, tax rebates, tax funding to try to encourage economic growth. The legislature has really moved away from those kind of programs over the last decade. I think that'll get under some scrutiny. Probably the biggest thing that everybody always wonders when you're talking about Governor DeSantis is where's his commitment to the environment. He's proposing again pretty much to stay in line with where he's been over the last 3 years or 2 years before this, reflecting ultimately that he's just basically following the law. We've passed a number of appropriations acts after Amendment 1. Listeners will remember back, I believe it was 2014, passed Amendment 1 that dedicates permanent money for environmental restoration, environmental conservation, and he is continuing to implement those programs. But the wide-ranging options, and I think that the real challenge will be, is the money there? And you get back to this argument they're having between the governor's economists and the third-party economists that the legislature employs over, is it $1 billion shortfall, a $2 billion shortfall? What's really things going to look like come July, August, September of this year?
Yeah, so a couple of things that I wanted to ask you then about that. The first thing is when, the governor is doing, when it comes to the environment, he does what he does. By law, he has to do this. But don't we get an opportunity to see where the accounting of all of this? Like I've said this before, maybe I'm off base. And this is where I appreciate your honesty. And sometimes if I'm off base, you're going to say you're off base. So tell me if I am. But I would love to know where the spending is specifically going. And I'm not talking about anything that would have to do with plans that are in place, like reservoirs or anything else. And even we can get to some of the discussion how I'm hearing more and more about the legislature talking about, and others mentioning that we got to talk about the other side of the lake. Forget about the reservoirs on that side of the lake. We have to talk about everything that's moving before the lake. And all of a sudden, this discussion is coming up, and you can get to that in a second. But the accounting to the individuals, the groups, the environmentalist groups, are we allowed to see that? Is there an accounting of this? Is there a place that we can go to see what they're spending our money on?
Oh, absolutely. When you actually get into the budget documents for the House and the Senate, you're going to see these big pots of money broken down into their different pieces. The biggest shot in the arm, $600+ million, is going to commitments that we already have, as you mentioned, the reservoir being built south of the lake, our pre-existing commitments to restoring the Kissimmee River, for example, right. The work going on down in the southern Everglades. You'll see that breakdown within that. You'll also see it when most of it gets passed through to the South Florida Water Management District. So you'll see it arrive and then go back out for those projects. But the real question is, and this is always the struggle, these are things that voters want to see done. These are projects they want to see accomplished. And at the same time, it's never enough. It's never enough for many of these environmental groups, the ones that are activists out there pushing and agitating, who really, they may have some well-meaning individuals, folks in their organizations, but from a very top level, so many of them are just about politics. They're about trying to divide the voters for an advantage for the governor's opponents.
Right.
And that's really the challenge I think the legislature needs to be aware of. Don't just spend money just because you think you're going to be gaining affection from these voters or these
You're
groups,
not.
because you won't.
Right. And that's where my concern lies. And I know we've had this conversation before, but I can't emphasize this enough. You can't give money to groups and expect that those groups are going to back you. They don't like you. They don't like you no matter how much money you give them. They expect that you should be giving them money. And they plan that the next administration that would come in that isn't you is going to give them even more. And so all they're doing, it feels like in a lot of ways what happens is it goes to these groups who are talking about how bad conservatives are and how they're the ones that hate the environment and they're the ones that are the problem and we're the good guys in all of this. And that becomes an opportunity for them to build up their cachet, their coffers, so to speak. And then next thing you know they're doing things and saying things that would be negative against the individual who is trying to help them and to do the right thing for the state. And in turn, those individuals are going to go after this governor. I worry about that. Maybe I'm off base, but you would tell me if I was.
No, I think it is a legitimate worry. And you look at again in the news today, Charlie Crist was making the round on the Sunday shows, searching for support for him to run for governor as a Democrat. And where do we think these groups are going to show up? When it comes time for him to announce he's running against Ron DeSantis, are they going to stick behind Ron at his kickoff party, or as we all expect, they're going to show up waving flags behind Charlie?
Right. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, talking about the governor's budget that we were just talking about a little while ago. And what is it, a $96.6 billion budget But we do know that ultimately the governor puts that out there. You've got the House and the Senate that are going to go through this, and they're going to pass their own and this negotiation. And the governor, at the end of the day, will have the right to look and see what will stay. I mean, how was it? It was like, I want to say it was close to $1 billion in budget projects that were vetoed? I think last budget or something like that. It was a pretty high number.
Yeah, that's correct. He has shown no fear in vetoing projects and realizing savings. If I were to look in my crystal ball, I do think
you have a crystal. You've got a crystal. He's got a crystal ball, Jake. Go ahead.
Well, it only has a so-so record of predicting outcomes, but I will tell you that I think the House and Senate are likely to look at a budget somewhere smaller than that $96 billion. I think the sense I get from the legislature is they want to put even more money in reserve. Again, this kind of fundamental disagreement between the governor's economists, predicting less than a $2 billion shortfall, and then you've got the economic and demographic research that's funded by the legislature to make predictions that think it could be above the $2 billion, and that delta, I think, is going to lead the legislature to propose something smaller than what the governor's rolled out here.
Yeah, one of the things that the governor mentioned. And I'll play a little bit of the audio, and maybe we'll finish up with this. For those that didn't hear it last week, as the governor was talking about, hey, look, as a state, when it comes to COVID, I mean, we're open, we've been open, and the policies that we've moved forward with.
Florida also led and continues to lead on protecting the livelihoods of our people. While so many other states kept locking people down, Florida lifted people up. We believe every job is essential. You work in a restaurant, we have your back. If you are a hairstylist, we protect your right to earn a living. And if you are a parent, we ensure your kids have the right to attend school in person. Lockdowns do not work. School closures have been disastrous. Yet even today, we see across our country businesses shuttered, lives ruined, and schools closed. Indeed, in major parts of the country, students might not return to in-person instruction until the fall. Florida schools are open. Every Floridian has a right to work. All businesses have a right to operate, and Florida is better for it.
Yeah, he's exactly right on the money. And I'm going to make a suggestion that my friend Jennifer Cabrera, who's been on this program a few times, the editor of the Alachua Chronicle, and she mentioned this in a tweet. And I'm going to get your perspective on this because I think this is interesting. When it comes to COVID here in the state of Florida, the governor has not been shy about the things that he knows will work. And you can see it all come to fruition in the state, focusing on the elderly and the vaccines and where they need to go and the science and data that shows that schools are not super spreader locations and how kids react to COVID in general and what we see and what it means to them. But she said that we have CLI and hospitalizations that are falling pretty fast here in the state, CLI being the COVID-like illnesses. Mm-hmm. I wonder if the governor should use maybe what she's calling lockdown language to get us out of this and saying, you know what, maybe we don't test anymore. Maybe we put a pause on it. You don't get tested unless you go to a doctor. And you only go to the doctor because you have symptoms, that we don't have to do anything when it comes to spending the money on testing, that we're over-testing and we're getting, and take some steps that would even get us away from some of the things that we're told have to be done and get us to some sense of normalcy. And what about that? Does that make sense? In other words, this idea that we've got to continue to test. How about you go to the doctor and you get a hold of your physician and you tell them I've got some symptoms and you get tested at your physician, and let's stop this, this massive amount of testing that we're doing, especially that the symptoms of COVID illnesses and hospitalizations are falling. What about that?
Well, I think that's exactly the question you should ask. Now that we have vaccine being rolled out, what are the metrics for stopping this unending testing opportunity? Not just the money we spend on it, but what's the efficacy? What are we really learning about it at this point now that we're developing a vaccine and getting that distributed. You could take all of that staffing, for example, that's right now queued up to do, no questions asked testing. That staffing could be turned around and invested in, again, rolling out the vaccine even more efficiently than we already are doing. And if you're not going to start looking at what is the end game now, when would you? What's the metric? What's the thing that says, okay, now we're going to look at not having this open-ended testing regime? No, I think that's exactly something you should look at. The other big question the legislature is going to have to grapple with, and Governor DeSantis, despite having initially kind of tested the waters on the lockdown and then realizing very quickly that is not the solution and having rejected it, and as you heard in his clip, forcefully rejecting any consideration of going back. Right. But the legislature is going to have to grapple with, what are the appropriate powers for the executive branch to wield in a situation like this that happens in the future. You're sitting here today and say, okay, we can trust Ron DeSantis on those questions, but what about the next governor and the next governor in the future when this happens? That's the real sleeper issue that I think the legislature is going to have to address and going to have to negotiate. And there's, from what I hear, I think the governor kind of shares that view, but you've got the bureaucracy in the executive branch that's very, very hesitant and very jealous of its power. And this is, I think, going to set up for a little bit of sparks here as the session rolls in on just exactly what the scope of that executive power should be. Yeah, there are going to be some things that are going to be the usual players, the leftists in the states that are going to be getting a lot of media attention that supposedly are the big up-and-comers that we're going to hear all the things about. But also those bigger issues to me, which is like you're talking about, executive power and even to say, Matt, I would love to have somebody in the legislature push to say anything that comes from the federal government that is clearly unconstitutional, we will not follow, especially when it comes to free speech and maybe even in some COVID language. But we can do that, and we can set an example. I mean, if states like California can have sanctuary cities and states for immigration and just kind of throw their hands at the government and say, at the federal government, say, we're not even going to follow anything you do, and they do what they're doing, what's the matter with us saying it's not constitutional? We're doing it for the right reason because it's not constitutional, and we could put some teeth behind that. What about that? Absolutely. I mean, I think the first real test this session is deciding what to do with federal funding for education. Now that Joe Biden has issued that executive order that transgender boys that are calling themselves girls have to be allowed to compete in women's sports, the only way that has any teeth is if a state takes federal money. If we reject that federal money, then we can reject any kind of executive order that we disagree with and think is either unconstitutional or just bad policy to begin with. Having that freedom, I think, is something we should pursue and should jealously guard because, the federal government, we all agree, and anybody who's paying even halfway attention knows, is an out-of-control monster and really shouldn't be given any more authority over our daily lives.
Yeah, and speaking of out-of-control monsters, Jake is pointing at me. We got to go to break. All right, Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, my friend, I'll see you later.
Sounds good. See you.
All right, there he goes. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. and take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. So trust our teams at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $200 off a panel replacement.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
Got water?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friend.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair. The quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hey, it's Drew Steele from Daybreak. Look, it's been a while since we've taken the show on the road, but we're doing it on Friday, February 5th. We're going to be live at Oaks Farms Seed to Table Market in North Naples for our first Friday series. The market's going to be open at 6 a.m. to welcome you. You can grab a cup of coffee, a delicious breakfast. Friday, February 5th, we are on the road again at Oaks Farms Seed to Table, and that's on Immokalee Road, just west of I-75 in North Naples. We hope to see you live Friday, February 5th. It's our first Friday series with 92.5 Fox News.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on 75 is now delaying traffic between MLK all the way to Daniels. So the best thing you can do to avoid this, take Ortiz to 6 Mile, or you can head through the Forum, take Colonial to Tree Line, and you can avoid I-75 if you're heading southbound. Also a mess is a crash at Daniels and Gateway Boulevard. Traffic is at a standstill on that extension heading out of Lehigh Acres. So if you're heading to 75, go ahead and stick to Colonial Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After some morning rain, gradually we do dry out. It is going to be a much cooler and windy day of weather. Wind gusts 25 to 40 miles an hour with afternoon temperatures only into the 60s. Then we fall into the 40s with an additional wind chill for your Tuesday morning. Highs only in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your chilly Tuesday as morning clouds eventually give way to sunshine. We are nice and sunny Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny Friday, and then we do warm up to 80 degrees by Saturday with a chance of rain for the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authorities.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes sports page. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
If you're moving, selling, or purchasing furniture and need help getting it home, there are a lot of moving companies to choose from. But wait, all moving companies are not created equal. Sure, if you're moving your college students' furniture, hiring young movers is fine. But if you're moving highly valued items, you need Rice's Moving and Transport. They meticulously pad wrap everything and secure your valuables and gently pack, transport, and set them up. Rice's Moving and Transport employs skilled professional movers who respect your belongings. Not just young hunks who can lift heavy things. Moving is stressful enough. Don't stress about hiring the right moving company. Here's what Teresa in Naples said about Rice's Moving and Transport. I was so impressed when your moving crew came to my home. They politely introduced themselves by name. Seems small, but it made an impression. When you need help moving, trust Rice's Moving and Transport. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with, and it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Today, your energy is not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. At FPL, we work each day to drive efficiency up and costs down to help keep your bills among the lowest in the nation, lower than many states, including New York, Michigan, and California. That's America's best energy value working for you. See how our bill compares. Go to fpl.com/value.
Abbott Hill in Naples is your one-stop shop for every aspect of your remodeling and renovation projects. Their team is committed to providing innovative solutions with the highest quality products. Abbott Hill offers from modern European style to furniture-grade, authentic, handmade old Amish cabinetry. Each piece is made with the highest quality solid woods and traditional construction methods for your new kitchen, office, entertainment wall, vanities, and built-ins. A large selection of unique porcelain tiles, including top designers like Roberto Cavalli, and an exclusive collection of large format slabs and tiles from Versace Ceramics.
Hi, I'm Peter, the owner of Abbott Hill. Please come see my showroom located on 5880 Shirley Street in Naples, or call 239-260-5246.
If you're in the market to update your kitchen, bathroom, or floors, Abbott Hill is offering free kitchen design consultation and 20% off countertops with the purchase of kitchen cabinetry. Abbott Hill, returning the quality of yesterday and leaving you smiling for years to come.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
I just want to remind everybody that Friday will be the beginning of our first Fridays. We're going to be out and about finally. We're going to get out of this building and get out to see you. And we're going to be every first Friday of the month, we will be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee in Naples. So this Friday, make it a point to be there. They usually open at 7 a.m., but they are going to open an hour earlier for us at 6 a.m. because we'll be doing the show live from there. Upstairs, they've got a cool little area where they've got a stage, and so there's seating around there so you can come and grab a coffee, grab some breakfast. You know how amazing Seed to Table is, and if you have not been to Seed to Table, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. Jake, have you been there yet?
I have not.
Change your life. It will change your life. It will change the way you look at shopping, grocery shopping, bar, drinking, hanging out with friends, food, the things that you will eat and the things that you see. And it's remarkable what they do there. It's absolutely remarkable. So Seed to Table, Oaks Farm Seed to Table, will be there 6 to 9 a.m. They open an hour early so you can have coffee and breakfast with us. And they're looking forward to seeing you there. It's called First Fridays. So first Friday of every month, we'll be out and about. And this Friday, we will be at Oaks Farm, Seed to Table, Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. So looking forward to that. All right. By the way, drewsteele.com. If you want to watch this program, go to the website, drewsteele.com. It is set up to be mobile friendly, so you can watch on your phone. You can watch on your smart device. You can watch on your computer. And you can still go to YouTube, Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's, both locations, so you can watch us there as well. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Well, big tech platforms say they are removing lies about vaccines and stamping out Stop the Steal BS and QAnon cult content. Now, do these private companies have too much power? Sure. And many people would say yes, of course they do. But reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is different than freedom of reach. And algorithmic reach is part of the problem.
Oh, there you go. There's Brian Stelter on CNN. Probably reliable sources is the name of, laughingly enough, the name of the program. But you probably didn't get a chance to hear this when he started the segment by talking about Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson and the lies and the talking about the muzzling of America and not being able to speak and cancel culture and censorship and how ridiculous that notion is. Then goes into saying what we need to do is reduce information pollution. And what we have to do is take Fox News off the air by having cable carriers responsible for what they say. So now Brian Stelter wants to censor speech by having cable companies not provide it. And the thing is, if you feel like you're not a fan of Fox News lately, or you feel like there's a problem with some of the programming there, make no mistake about it. if you would be happy and cheering the idea that Fox would go away, you don't think Newsmax, OAN, and others would be next? Of course they would be.
Number 4. Got a new president. Who exactly is running the Justice Department? We've got some exclusive reporting on that tonight. In one of his very first acts as president, Joe Biden appointed someone called Nicholas McQuaid to run the DOJ's criminal division, the all-important criminal division. Turns out that's the same criminal division that's currently investigating Biden's son, Hunter. So who is this Nicholas McQuaid exactly? Well, this show can tell you that he is a former business partner of Hunter Biden's new criminal defense attorney, a man called Christopher Clark.
Now you see why CNN and others would like to see Fox News go away, because they would like to see Tucker Carlson go away, because it's only Tucker Carlson's program that you would even have the opportunity to hear about this. So Hunter Biden's attorney's business partner was just assigned to head the division of the Department of Justice investigating Hunter Biden. Do you think CNN is going to mention that? Do you think anybody's going to mention that? We got a problem.
Number 3. I would like to offer an unofficial prayer for the Dolphins draft board. We need a good draft. Thank you. God of our weary years.
Well, there's the Miami-Dade State of the County address being made on Friday. And before that, the Vice Chairman, Oliver Gilbert, was doing the invocation. And before the prayer, or during the prayer, or the beginning of the prayer, we started with a prayer for the Miami Dolphins and their draft board. Is that bad, huh?
Number 2.
Let me just say, in terms of the first point you made, how long is this going to go on? We know that flu comes back every year. If you look at coronaviruses in their natural habitat, that's us, they come back every year. And there's no reason at this point, with the information we have about variants, to think that immunity won't wane and that the viruses won't come back in a different form, just like flu. We live with flu. We contend with flu with changing of vaccines. And soon, I think, we'll have better drugs for both flu and for coronaviruses. This is going to be a long, long battle, not a year-long battle, a decades-long battle.
A decades-long battle. CNN and a medical guest named William Hazeltine, a former professor at Harvard Medical School, who said, just want to let everybody know, 15 days to stop the spread, turning to 30, turning to a whole year plus, turning to now decades to return to pre-COVID normal. Decades, everybody. Do you honestly think it's going to be decades? Describing coronavirus as something just like the flu. There'll be all kinds of variants. We'll have vaccines. Some will work, some won't. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be around with us for a very long time. Really, how long will the masking be around? How long will people not be able to go to work? How long will people not kids not be able to go to school? How long does that last, do you think?
Number 1.
New York State, we're only about 28% only. But we're below the national average in number of deaths in nursing homes. But who cares? 33, 28, died in a hospital, died in a nursing home. They died.
They died. Who cares? Governor Andrew Cuomo asks on Friday. Listen, I understand you're questioning me and what I did about putting COVID-positive patients back into nursing homes, but it wasn't my fault. It was everybody else's fault, and who cares? They're dead.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Nobody will say anything. The media has already moved on. The media is already talking about how climate change is the reason why we have a snowstorm in the Northeast and almost like a foot of snow in some areas, and even, 10 to 12 inches in Central Park, because it never snows in the Northeast in the winter. Sorry, get a little excited about snow. But that's out there. Oh, yeah, that's what they're saying. Every major media outlet, and probably some of the local ones as well, that would love to jump in on it, that it's climate change is the reason why it's snowing in the Northeast in January. That's what we've got going on. And the governor there in New York is talking about, look, people died. It's not my fault. It was the federal government. Do you want to hear this lie that was spewed by Andrew Cuomo? Now, remember, a lot of people didn't focus on the whole context of what was said, but he started off the whole thing by blaming Trump.
When I say the State Department of Health, as the report said, the State Department of Health followed federal guidance. So if you think there was a mistake, then go talk to the federal government. It's not about pointing fingers or blame. It's that this became a political football, right?
No, that's not right. As a matter of fact, that's a flat out lie. It wasn't the federal government that told him to put COVID positive patients back in nursing homes. They did that. It was a Department of Health directive. It's what the state wanted to do. And just this morning, gosh, I wish I could find this story, because it was just this morning where they were talking about individuals who were leaving the Department of Health in the state of New York because they have had enough with what was taking place there with Andrew Cuomo at the helm, and that they are done, absolutely positively done with the governor and walking away there in the state. And I don't know if you do that, if you honestly believe that what the policies were there in place were the right policies. They were not the right policies, and he knows it. And yet he had an opportunity to write a book during a pandemic. Nobody talked about that. He was lauded by Hollywood and others as being so fantastic, and people just fawning all over him, and yet will not take responsibility. And look, it's a Hillary Clinton moment that you had there from the governor there in the state of New York.
I'm really offended personally.
Yeah, well, so were we. You should be, right?
What difference at this point does it make?
Sounds pretty familiar. 239-479-5592. If there's anything you want to talk about this morning as we finish out the program, there's some of the other headlines that we have an opportunity to see. You know, we talked about some of the things that are going on with COVID. We talked about what may be possible moving forward. We're hearing more about how this could be a decades-long event. Decades. And when is all of this going to change? What do we do? Well, you know, there are individuals who might have you believe that when it comes to COVID and decades long, that there's a new normal here. There's just a new normal. There's nothing you can do. There's no way you can argue this point, fight this point, debate this point, and that we'll have to have these restrictions and this up and down of restrictions for how long? How long will this continue? And why can't we even focus on this in the current? You know, you even talk about how some of the policies of this administration and how they can't even focus on some of the reality that's out there when it comes to issues like, the climate change that we talked about, the fact that there's snow in January in the Northeast, how unusual that is. And, but true, it's more than usual. Okay, we've had plenty of years where there's been more than usual snow in the Northeast. Well, those times were climate change as well. We just didn't know it. Well, you just stop. You keep moving the goalposts. Biden's climate agenda won't replace jobs it seeks to kill, a separate AP and Washington Post fact check suggests. They're fact checking the idea that the Biden administration and this climate change agenda that they have, where they're saying, listen, we're just going to flip everything over. We got a fleet of electric cars coming in. We're going to have 1 million new jobs because we're going to bring in electric vehicles. We're going to flip all of this around. Don't you worry about it. And even the Washington Post and AP are looking and going, no, that's not going to happen. We can't see how that's even possible. They're fact checking and saying that we don't see how a net gain of 1 million jobs in that sector can come from Biden's plan. But yet, nope, you got people that will just not hear that. They don't want to hear any other side of the COVID argument because, well, it's not about politics. Yes, it is. Climate change is not about politics. Yeah, it seems like it is. And even when you hear things that are going on, like GM saying 14 years, In 14 years, we are going to be all electric. That's what we're going to be doing. 2035, all electric. Look at the administration who's saying we're going to have all electric vehicles that are going to be in place in the federal government. We're going to make this change over because we want to have less of a carbon footprint. How does that work, carbon footprint, folks? When you have a climate czar who is an individual who has a private plane he flies all the time and has a 672-room mansion. I don't know how many, but it's huge. He's got quite the carbon footprint, but it's for you, not for me. And then you have this little ditty. Can I just remind everybody when people say that it's fossil fuels, clean energy, it's clean energy that's cheaper than fossil fuels. We're going to save money. We're going to create jobs. Really? Well, let me remind everybody of this little nugget. When GM was announcing Chevy Volt and they wanted everybody to see the Volt and plug it in and everything is exciting right now and reporters were all excited about it. You had, who was it, Kristen Zimmerman, who was the head at General Motors, who was demonstrating and showing everybody in Lansing, Michigan, this vehicle.
I'm really grateful to be here today, and in fact, this is a chance for me to say thank you more formally. The Chevy Volt is upstairs. We'll be able to take a look at it.
Let's go. Come on, everybody, let's go.
1,000 photos.
Yeah. Let's go see it.
Here's the plug.
Here's the plug.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple. It's magical, everybody. You plug it in, it's magical.
The batteries are in the trunk?
No, the battery in this particular design is a T-shape right down the center and across the back seat area.
Yep, there it is across the back seat area. That's how a Chevy Volt works.
Everybody thought we killed the electric vehicle. No, we didn't.
No.
It's alive and well.
No, they didn't. They thought we killed the electric vehicle. No, we've got the Chevy Volt. Hey, how is this Chevy Volt powered? One reporter wanted to ask, hey, how do you power that Volt, by the way?
So what's charging the batteries right now?
What's charging the batteries?
What's the source of
Well,
electricity?
here, it's coming from the building.
I mean, is it, what's our mix of power?
Oh, actually, Lansing feeds the building.
What's that?
Lansing feeds power to the building.
Yeah, Lansing, the Michigan Power and Light. Lansing feeds power to the building. The building is what's powering the car, everybody.
So I don't know. I bet you they're a bit of coal. They're heavy on natural gas.
Is it coal or natural gas? What is it? The Lansing. Let's go to the Michigan Power of Light gentleman. Let's ask the Michigan Power and Light gentleman how we power the electricity in Michigan.
Your grid?
Right. It would be charging off our grid, which is about 95% coal.
95% coal, everybody, is powering the electric vehicles in Lansing, Michigan. Coal powers the electric vehicle. We got to get rid of coal. Like now. Today. We got to shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We got to get rid of oil and gas now. Do you know what kind of carbon footprint that has going on in it's powering the cars? How do you square that circle or right that wrong or whatever you want to call it? All right, we got to move on. Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. Matt Devitt has the remainder of your forecast.
After some rain early, eventually we do dry out. Winds crank up. It is going to be a windy day. Wind gusts between 25 and